Hey everybody, today we're going to knock out a quick video showing how I glue my AK racing tires, specifically 8 scale buggy tires is what I'll be gluing today. I know there's many people out there that have done tire gluing videos, but yet I still see lots and lots of people have tires come unglued attending races. So I thought I would do a quick video showing my method that I use, because I don't see many people using this product to clean the bead of the tire like I do. So I would like to get going and show you a few tips on gluing up my tires and how I do it. So I would like to start by just covering the actual products that I'm going to be using. I do run AK racing tires and wheels, have for many years. I would say that super soft longwear is probably the most popular compound that AK has, and it's probably the most common tire to come unglued that I've seen. It seems that the mold release sticks to that rubber quite a bit stronger than it sticks to some of the other rubber, so it's a little bit harder to get that mold release off of the bead to glue, and if you don't get it off, then you're going to have your tire come unglued. So to clean the bead, what I use is lacquer thinner. Can be bought at any hardware store or a Walmart. I just use straight lacquer thinner, and I like to use a microfiber towel rather than a paper towel, because I like to actually scrub the bead. So microfiber lets you scrub a lot more. And then as far as glue, I typically use the Loctite Professional, just because it's readily available and easy to get, and it seems to work very good. But the glue doesn't seem to be that critical, as I've used AK glue. It's extremely good. I've used Proline glue. I've used many of the RC branded glues with success, so I think that the glue is not really as critical. I think that the main thing is cleaning the bead. That seems to be the key. So before I actually glue the tire, there's a few things. So punching the hole in the actual tire, I don't really think that it really matters as long as you have vent holes. Many people put them all in different places, and I don't think it's that critical. I like to always do 3, and I just do a triangle on the inner sidewall, and this is the way I've done it for many years. It's just my personal preference. So, and then as far as the foam goes, I do a little bit of prep to the foam. The only thing I do is I take my leather punch and I'll go on the biggest setting, which I think is either 3 or 4 millimeters, something like that. Just the biggest setting on my leather punch, and I'll punch a hole right in the center of the foam on every single rib. So right in the center. And that's what these lines are, is to mark where the ribs are at, so that I can know where they're at to punch the hole in. So I've already done this one, so now that I've explained kind of my process, we'll go ahead and do one and show you exactly how I do it. So for the foam, I like to take a Sharpie, and where every rib is at, I'll put a mark, just like I did on this one, so that I know where the center of the rib is at. And I like to make the mark in the center of the rib so I know where to put the hole. Alright, so once you've got your foam marked, like I said, take your leather punch on the biggest setting and go right in the middle of where that mark is at. Okay, and then once you got all the way around it, I didn't mention, but the center line obviously is the center of the foam where you're going to want to put. Just take a hex driver and push each one of those punches out. And then flip it over and you'll have all these little bits to pull out of the way. And then you'll have all your punches. Now what this does is it'll do two things. It'll actually allow the foam itself to break in a little bit quicker, because I do personally feel the AK foam is a touch on the stiff side when it's brand new, so it'll allow it to break in a little bit faster. And it also will soften the center squish of the tire right down the center, but still maintain your sidewall support. So it will give a little bit more forward drive out of the tire, softening that center squish, but you'll still be able to maintain your stability. So punch the tire, like I said, 3 holes, and I don't think that hole size really matters too much. I just use probably about a 2mm hole, I would say. I don't think it really matters that much. And then put the foam in through the tire. Once the foam's fully seated into the tire, then comes the most important step, and that's cleaning the bead before gluing it. I really like using lacquer thinner for 2 reasons. It's extremely aggressive, so it pulls all of the mold release off, and 2, it dries really quick, so you don't have to wait for it to dry. So I'll just take my microfiber over my finger and then dump some lacquer thinner onto it. And then when you're cleaning this bead, you want to just go back and forth and really scrub all the way around. So I'm probably going back and forth 5 to 6 times in each spot of the bead, and I'm pushing pretty firmly to have more of a scrubbing motion than a wipe. So, and then I'll actually go, once I get all the way around it, that's what came off in the first, I'll go to a clean spot on the rag, and I'll go over it one more time. And then that's the second time. You'll get quite a bit less than you did the first time. So that's just one side of the tire. I know that most of the tire gluing videos that are out there, everybody's using Simple Green or says use Simple Green, but I'll just say in my video, the only time I've ever had a tire come unglued is when I use Simple Green. In my entire racing career, that's the only time I've ever had a tire come unglued. So, do the same step on both sides of the tire. Make sure it's super, the bead is super scrub clean. And that's what we took off of one tire. So I'm a firm believer that every tire that's ever came unglued, or I would say probably over half of them, this is the step that was done incorrectly, which was cleaning the bead. I would say that's the most critical step in gluing. Anybody can glue a tire, but this is what's most important, is getting that bead clean so that the glue can actually stick. Okay, so the tire is now clean. I don't do a single thing to the wheel as long as you're using a brand new right out of the package wheel. You should have absolutely no problem, no reason to clean or scuff or anything to the wheel. As far as glue goes, I would say to make sure you keep your glue into a refrigerator to store it, rather than storing it for months in your pit bag or wherever. I would recommend keeping it in your refrigerator, so that will keep your glue much more fresh and likely to not go bad. So then we'll just pull the tire up onto the wheel here. Make sure you get it, the bead all the way around, seated in there, and make sure you get the foam all seated. So you got a nicely put on the wheel. For the gluing process, I like to have a blue paper towel. I do use AKA tire bands. This is obviously doesn't really matter what band you use, as long as you get a band that will secure the bead all the way around the tire to the wheel. And then I would just roll it around with my thumb and make sure it's pushed all the way in, and then proceed with putting some glue on. Now, I don't worry about getting excess amounts of glue or trying to get the perfect amount in there. I just squirt some in so that I know it's got plenty of glue and it's pushing it out. And then I'll go around it like this, and then I use the blue paper towel and just tap the wheel right onto that flat, and it'll remove all the excess glue around the outside bead. And then you got a nice, clean, perfect glue job. You can see on the towel, well, maybe you can see it removed all of the glue off of the outside. So while we let that dry, I will talk about the tire gluing jigs that are out there a little bit. I haven't used every single one out there, but I have used two of the most popular ones, and I will say that I don't like using a gluing jig because what I feel like they only glue half of the bead. I feel like both the gluing jigs that I used only glue the outside half of the bead. They don't get the glue all the way down to the bottom of the bead. So that's why I personally recommend using just the old school, pull it back with your finger, make sure you get the glue all the way down to the bottom, and the whole bead will be glued. And that's where you're going to get the strongest glue job. So you can see that dries really fast. Just flip over to the other side, and we're able to do the exact same thing. Now with this side, you do have to be a little bit more careful not to do too much glue because it'll just overflow and then run down inside the wheel. So you got to be a little bit more careful. Same thing, just push it down, tap it on there, and on the back side I'll roll this inside the wheel just in case any went down inside there. And that's really all there is to it. Like I said, the key part and the most crucial part is the cleaning of the bead. That is 100% the most crucial part to gluing a tire. And I can honestly say that if you was to use this method, this cleaning method with the lacquer thinner on AK rubber, I can pretty much guarantee you will never have a tire come off the wheel. My tires I don't ever have. I can confidently say I never have a tire come unglued. I don't even check the beads on my tires between races or anything. I see lots of racers always taking their tires and peeling them, checking them, and patching up spots they're peeling up and stuff. I don't ever do that because I have 100% confidence in my glue that I don't ever have problems. So anyway, thanks to AK for the years of support and awesome tires, and thanks to everybody for watching this video, and hopefully some of these tips can help some of you guys out and make your race program better and a little bit less stressful. So thanks guys for watching.